I'm gonna show you in this video how I made $16,000 in 25 days. Now, that's not necessarily an impressive number, but for me, what is impressive is that I did that without even having 2,000 followers on Instagram. Now that is the thing. And I know you're watching this video right now because one of the biggest things that you might be struggling with right now is client acquisition. If you're a coach, a consultant, an agency owner, okay, and you want to get more leads, if you're not leveraging your Instagram as the main funnel for you to get consistent leads and consistent booked calls, what are you doing in 2026? You have to understand this. In this exact video, I'm gonna break down how I collected $8,000 cash and I generated $16,000 in rev for my consulting business using every single one of these points here, this ecosystem, and I'm gonna walk you through one specific guy. Look at this, from a like to fucking money in the bank. I'm gonna show you this, okay? Now, the first thing we need to do is understand what an Instagram does. An Instagram does is it represents your personal brand. Now, your personal brand needs to start with a brand kit. Now, every time that you tell your editor to edit a video, it needs to be specific. For example, I have 3 main colors. My first main color is black. If you notice in this video and in every single video, I only wear black t-shirts. Look at this, black, black, black. Why? Because it creates consistency and consistency builds trust. It's actually branding. If you study branding, consistency is what builds trust. It's one of the main factors. And think about it. If somebody is consistent with something, you trust that they're going to be consistent with whatever they're going to do for you. So it builds trust automatically. My second color is ambient. Now, if you take a look at my profile, ambient is kind of like this goldish color that you can see here, okay? Now, if you notice, goldish color here, goldish color here, goldish color here. Even in the content, goldish color, even in the color grading. You see here, goldish color, goldish color, goldish color. I even try to mimic here a little bit. Everything is consistent. And the third color is this blue. Now, this blue is called an accent color, and I'm using it right now with this pencil that I'm using here because I'm trying to demonstrate that the brand kit has to do with detail. You watch one of my reels, you think, oh, he's probably using blue. Okay, he's using blue again here. Yes, for everything specific keyword. Because when everybody interacts with my brand now and they see blue, they now know it means something important. 6K in 4 days, comment offer. These are all things, right? $45,000. These are all specific numbers, right? And look at this, even me around the number, even down to the detail is super important. And you wouldn't think about this when you look at my content. You wouldn't think this guy goes into that much detail, but he does. Even when it comes down to my logo here, it's very specific. And if you look at the fucking text, it's Montserrat across the board. Every single asset that I give. Look at these. Look at this consistency. Look at this, okay? You have this, and look at the blue. Do you see this blue here? Right here, this blue here. It's subtle because it's an accent color. Main color is black. In my content, every single thing is Montserrat text. Every single thing. Look at this. I will show you every single document. It has the same thing. Boom. Look at this, Montserrat text. Every single program SOP that I am gonna show you right now is all starting with the brand kit. So you now understand that every single content that you put out, every single piece of content or SOP that you give inside of your program needs to be fit with your brand specifically. So you now know that you need to start with your brand kit. Now, in the brand kit, if we take a look at everything that you need to do inside the brand kit, okay, you have your color palette. Let's bring this up here and let's go through it together, okay? Even down to the typography, okay? Primary font, secondary font, size hierarchy, case rule. Look at this, I have my example. Now, when I give this to my editor, it's specific, accent. It's the specific color, used sparingly for emphasis only, CTA's highlights. Primary color is black, okay? Character values. Now, one of my main, now look at it, okay? Confidence, competence, integrity, and knowledge. Now, if you look at my profile, okay, I do look competent. Look at these here, okay? Now, if you look at the group pictures, for example here, this is competence and knowledge right here. Why? Because I'm speaking to an audience of people, okay? Competence. Now, I know this is not related to business, but men who can be around other women are seen as competent. That's psychology. I didn't post this here, this lifestyle carousel out of just I want fucking people to like my shit. I did it because I understand that one of my brand values is competence. My Physique is one of the things. I've been going to the gym for 7 years now. That is competence. Okay? Competence here. Competence here. Okay? For example, that's one of my brand values. Now, if you go here, let's keep looking at this. Confidence. This is confidence. Why? Because somebody who laughs and doesn't need to look at the camera is somebody who's confident in themselves. They're laughing. If you actually study this, okay, people who are able to laugh a lot and laugh at themselves are seen as confident people. So I am talking about confidence, okay? Even the way that I speak, if you look at my reels, okay, the way that I speak is with confidence. I use my hands because everything here provides confidence. These are all micro level things that you wouldn't even know that I would do inside of my content. You think it's just like that. Competence, integrity. Okay, now if you take a look at my brand, integrity, okay? If I'm around a bunch of people and I'm teaching them something, I have integrity, okay? I am providing value. This, for example, okay? Let's take a look at other things. Knowledge, okay? Knowledge. If I am talking to a group of people, I am definitely knowledgeable. Okay, look at here again. I am knowledgeable. Look at here. The way that I speak about my content is in a way that makes me portray. Look at this YouTube video right here. I am portraying and I am showing you that I am a knowledgeable individual. Okay, now, black for structure and discipline, amber for warmth without softness, light blue only use, black for structure. Now, why? Because in my videos, I want to be known. Do you see this? These micro details. Even when it comes down, I never record without a mic, even in my reels, because I want that experience to be crisp. So you now understand that the first thing you need to do is your brand kit. The second thing you need to do before you even start doing your profile, I want you to understand exactly who you're speaking to specifically, because there's going to be 5 main points that you're going to talk about. In any niche, there's 5 main problems that anyone experiences in a niche, okay? The first problem that I want you to go through, think about the first problem. Now, why do you do these 5 problems? Because every single thing that you post on your profile, every single content that you will distribute will be around a certain messaging. Now I'm starting to do this more and more as I go, and I figured out my 2 main messages is acquisition and positioning. Look at, in this video, I talk about positioning, mostly. In this video, I talk about, okay, let's take a look at here. In this video here, I talk about positioning. In this video, I talk about positioning, okay? Now the other ones was about objection handling and sales, but I now understand that it's mostly acquisition, okay? Here, this is reframing beliefs, but I need to be consistent with my messaging. Okay, getting appointments. This has to do with acquisition. 3 big mistakes when starting a brand. This has to do with acquisition. My messaging is consistent. Why? Because I know in my market that one of my biggest problems that my ICP faces is getting consistent appointments through acquisition. The second biggest problem is that they don't know how to charge more money. They don't know how to position themselves as an authority and get people to charge them more money. So what am I going to talk about? I am going to talk about how to position yours. How did I make $10,000 in 1 hour with positioning? This speaks directly to my audience. So you now understand that these 5 pain points will be useful for you. The first thing you need to understand that you're building a personal brand, so it's personal to you. So you need to have specific character values. You need to start with your why. I read the book Start With Why, and it allowed me to understand exactly every single thing that I want to do, because it's where it comes from. The 5 problems and solutions in your market. What is your competitive edge? One of my competitive edges is that I invest into courses and I leverage their education to be able to help other people. Look at this in my content. I literally leverage one of my competitive edges. A lot of people in the info space will just talk about knowledge like that. I can say that I know how to help you do sales because I learned from a guy who is arguably one of the best salespeople on the planet. That is one of my competitive edges. You need to understand this. The only way you understand how to do this is from this market research sheet, okay? Second of all, we are now going to start with optimizing your profile. Before we even get to ideation, formats, planning, I want you to understand that before you do any content, because content is going to get you followers, comments, and likes. And I want you to understand something, that when you go about getting comments, followers, and likes, people will land on your profile. Now, if your profile is not optimized, those people will not know what to do, where to go, and what you do, why you're credible. The first thing we want to do is optimize for clarity. I want us to have the most clear profile ever. Now, the first part is your profile optimization. Now, within your profile optimization, there's 3 specific things. The first one is your profile picture. Now, according to your brand kit, what did I say one was competence, integrity, knowledge, and confidence, right? Look, what does this speak? This speaks confidence. It speaks confidence, right? Boom. Now, when somebody DMs you, the first thing they see is your profile, right? It's the first thing they see before they even go to your profile. So it has to be aligned with your brand and personality. And once again, very clear, okay? First thing. Second thing is your bio. There's 3 lines. The first line is identity-based, either identity-based, a strong statement, who you are, what you provide people. I turn your IG into a funnel and make you close more deals. Okay, so you now know that I help you turn your IG into a funnel and I help you get better at sales. Boom. Okay, and we might even need to optimize this right here and say, I turn your IG into a funnel and I help you charge more money. Boom. So it's constant improvement. There's no such thing as it's perfect. Even if I made $16,000 this month with my consulting offer, I can always get better. This is the mindset that will get you better. I now know that I need to optimize this after this video. Second line is credibility. $250,000 generated with only 4 clients. And then a clear CTA for them to take action. DM audit and I'll shoot over the exact breakdown. So profile picture, bio, and then I want you to have clear highlights. The first highlight everyone needs to have is a start here highlight. You need to have the start here. The reason why you need to have the start here is because if you go here and you take a look at the start here, okay? In the last 1.5 years, I've battle tested. We go through the exact structure for you to say, okay, number 1, what is a hook in terms of results, okay? What are the actual results? Look at the credibility here. You can't lie. There's credibility. I can't lie. There's credibility. You cannot lie. This is integrity. One of my brand values. I don't just say numbers and don't back them up. I back them up. I have integrity. I'm leading with integrity. Boom. Another result here. Integrity. Boom. Then what is the backstory? How did you actually get there? See, I leverage one of my competitive edges. My 4D what is your unique mechanism? I use my 4D framework, diagnose, dial in, data, and drive to help people. Now we help B2B service providers, coaches, agency owners fix what's broken. Stuck between 3 to 10K per month, DM me audit. So this start here story sequence, when somebody lands on it, they can now see what I do, why I'm credible, and how I can help you, and how to take action. Lifestyle. I find you need to understand that people buy from people. If people buy from people, one of the most relatable things about you is your lifestyle. If you take a look at this carousel here, I did this lifestyle carousel with the sole goal of having relatability. For example, I go to dinner, I travel, I'm in good shape, I go to dinners, I have friends I go to events with. For example, I travel more, I have girls around me, okay? Now, you have fucking camera, you're doing shit, you go to events. It's relatable. People want this. People want this life. So you now understand that having a lifestyle showing off your personality and who you are will make you more relatable. And if you're more relatable, people will buy from you. Then of course, clients. Clients is talking about behind the scenes footage, stuff like this, client results, etc. Okay, so first step is profile optimization. Then after that, we want to get into story sequences. Now these story sequences will do specific things. What did this do here, July 21st? Did allow you to be more relatable to my lifestyle in Miami, Porsche, penthouse, good physique. Who would not want this, right? Now, I'm not saying, okay? July 22, value-based. Okay, this is a value-based story sequence. Why? Because I provide value to my user. Because a story sequence is going to be used to convert existing attention into new buyers. And the exact thing I'm talking about here, I talked about. You know, I got off a call with my client. July 25th, credibility. I show how I made a 10K day. Okay, and I show the exact call that I was on. Boom. July 27th, one of my clients, JP Andrea, this guy literally used to help. I'm not gonna say who, but he used to help some big people with their social media, and he now runs 150K per month. That's instant credibility. And I talked to you about how he leveraged his $6,000 school community in his objection handling and how to reply close to get the exact framework. Then carousels. The first carousels that you need to do is how your unique mechanism generated XYZ result. Okay, credibility, boom, breaking down the mechanism. Then I'll show you exactly how to do it. DM me audit, and even the emotional outcome, okay? Watching a client break past a bottleneck. So do you see the specific things that I do? So now your profile is optimized. I then want you to move to asset creation on Instagram before we move to asset creation on YouTube, okay? Now, if we take a look at asset creation, we now understand from our profile being optimized and you have already had your offer done with you. You are now gonna get a clear understanding of exactly what to post because we will go through ideation. Reverse engineer what you do, okay? I want you to do top of funnel, broad content, middle of funnel, education, bottom of funnel, proof and conversion, okay? Boom. And you have different angles according to your market. Now, how do you choose different angles? Okay, well, you first need to understand, do you have a cold, warm, or hot market, okay? Now, from this, I want you to understand that if you have different talking head, different formats. I want you to test the exact thing. But how do you test? First, you need a plan. You now can plan exactly the step-by-step process for you to do reels every single week. So on Sundays, you plan the reels and you know that you don't need to know, oh, on Monday, what reel am I doing? No, we already know what it is. We already know the exact one that we're doing. Boom, and we get it done. So you now can plan it. And then how to communicate in script reels. You have different types of reels that you want to do. You have value-driven, educational, and credibility. And you now do those. Lastly, I want you to use a content tracker. So for example, if you use this hook, you can now take a look at this on Instagram and see if this performed well. And you want to take a look at, okay, am I getting follows? Am I getting comments? And do I have good hooks? What's the retention rate? And you now know you need to improve. For example, for me right now, I know I need to improve on hooks if you look at my retention. Okay, so you now know how to create reels, the right formats, how to plan, how to communicate in script, and how to do data and KPI. So every single piece of content comes from this, which creates a lead pipeline. And before we even get to the lead pipeline, I want to show you how the 5 specific pain points that we talked about, okay, we'll have 5 specific YouTube videos targeted to specific pain points. For example, if somebody like you is struggling with pricing and charging more money, then you now gonna watch this video on how to position yourself as an authority and how to charge more money. How I did this, 0 to 16K per month. That's one of the pain points. If one of your pain points is that you don't close more deals, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do objection handling. So when I'm in the DMs with someone, I can nurture them. So these reels create your lead pipeline, and your lead pipeline consists of follows, comments, and likes. Now, if you take a look at this, okay, you get these follows here. You DM these people. You get comments, CTA specific comments. You get comments here, okay, boom. You also get likes. Now, if you look at one of my clients here, okay, one of my fucking clients liked one of my reels. Now, he's been following me for a little bit, for a year. He's come to one of my old in-person events and I hit him up with a DM, okay? So you DM set him, okay? Hope everything is well. Now, you extract the pain. Besides optimizing with AI, do you feel there's any problems with your experiencing business? I'm basically saying, is there any way that I can help you? Yes, I think you can help me with this. Yes, 100%, boom, okay? Now, this reminds me of one of my friends, we added 20 to 30 MRR, and we added more than that. We added 57K in rev when we actually looked at the numbers. Now, would you be open to a call? We set them up for an appointment. Yeah, are you free? Boom. So we now hop on a call. Now, because this guy had already followed me on YouTube, he's already seen these videos, but between then and now, you wanna send nurturing assets from those specific pain points. We then hop on a call. From this call, we have an objection handling framework that allows us, he gave me the partner objection. We literally go on the objection handling framework to understand that an objection is surface level and we need to get to the real objection. So we objection handle with this exact SOP. And this call is now something that turned from a simple like from a reel that comes from my brand kit and my market research to having a contract signed and him paying me cash coming inside of my bank account. This is the exact funnel that I've been able to use to generate $16,000 in 25 days. I don't even have 10,000 followers on Instagram. You don't need followers on Instagram. What you need is to create a profile that converts the existing attention you have into buyers. And if you want to go out and get new followers, great, we can do this. Now, if you want to know exactly how I do this for myself and how I do this every single day for my clients inside of Monetize, I want you to do one of two things. Number one, in the description, you can book a call with me on Calendly, and I will walk you through exactly. I will audit your business, and for 30 minutes, I will tell you exactly what you should do. If you want to work with me, great. If not, I will provide you some value. Why? Because I want to help people. Or you can DM me on Instagram, audit. Now, I would recommend to book an appointment here, because what do you lose from booking an appointment? Realistically, you don't lose anything because you're gonna get free value. And then if you wanna work with me and implement this, you can. But I am gonna give you this free value. I've just given you a lot of free value. So you now understand that you don't need followers on Instagram to make money. You just need to have a profile that converts. And the way to get that profile is to understand that you first need to create a brand. You first need to optimize your profile. You need to create assets and be clear on exactly what to do every single day. You need to outbound prospect your DMs, and you need to be able to objection handle on sales calls. And this is how you will be able to turn one single like from a reel into a booked client. So once again, if you want to do this, book a call below or DM me on Instagram. And if not, I will see you in the next one.